fringe. It's like curtains. Hello everybody, welcome back to Real Techniques. Sorry, I was just laughing at my fringe. Yeah, I decided that I was going to have a fringe cut yesterday. I wanted it like a Farrah Fawcett fringe, but it's more 70s rock, Debbie Harry kind of esque, which I do actually love. But it just needs to grow into the shape that I want it to be. So if you're wondering why I keep doing this, it's because I've got a new fringe. My video that I'm going to do for you today is, but actually looking at it in the camera, it makes me feel like I'm, you know, in the 90s when people used to have an undercut and curtains. I feel like a little boy with an undercut and curtains. Did I say welcome back to Pixie Wheel or did I say Real Techniques? Well, it's Pixie Wheel. I have been sitting in this room for hours researching lots of products because I am going to do a foundation review for you, and I am doing drugstore or high street foundations, and I have about 15 of them that I'm just going to try on my skin, talk you through and tell you what I think of them, what sort of skin type they would be better for, and just a little review on drugstore high street foundations. So first of all, I've been testing them on my face anyway, so let me take that off. Reveal the blemish. And the nose where I've had hay fever. Right, let's get some blank skin going on. I don't really know what to do with my fringe because I feel like, should I pin it back for doing makeup? Because it's going to really get in the way, isn't it? Honestly, put like that. Screw it. So the first foundation I would like to show you is Maybelline Fit Me Foundation. This is a matte poreless foundation. It's $6.99. I tried to Google how much it is in other countries, but it wouldn't show me. For some reason, it wouldn't allow me to see how much it is, or maybe it's not stocked in other countries, I'm not sure. This comes in 16 shades. Let's pop it on. The shade that I have got right now is 128. That colour is very yellow on me. So this foundation has no SPF, and it's taken me 2 pea-size squeezes so far to cover my face. But on its own, it's covered that blemish really, really well. This is for an oily skin, normal to oily. So this Maybelline Matte Fit is for a normal to oily skin. It's $6.99 in the UK. It has 16 shades, it's got 30ml in the bottle and doesn't have an SPF. It's meant to be pore minimising, however, I think it's made my pores show up more, but maybe that's because my skin is dry. I feel like it's showing my pores more than I actually have any pores. Let me zoom in so you can really see close. Next we have Maybelline Dream Satin Liquid. This is available in 14 shades from what I could see on the website. It's a medium to full coverage. And this colour is 30 Sand, which is also slightly yellow for me. But then you would think it would be more yellow if it's called Sand. It retails at $7.99 in the UK. And this is more for a dry combination skin. See, I already like this one more, but I have dry combination skin, so we must remember that. Let's see how it... So that's my second pump of this one. See if it covers as well. And this one has 30ml in as well. Goes a lot longer, a lot further. This one longer, a lot further. I've still got a good amount from my second pump on the hand. So this is a medium to full coverage, and it's meant to give a healthy, dewy glow. So not as good for those of you with an oily skin, although I don't think it would be too bad for an oily skin. I quite often find that the drugstore foundations are more geared to an oily skin than they are to a healthy, glowy skin, and the premium foundations are more geared to a dry skin. So Maybelline Dream Satin Liquid is slightly more for a drier skin. It's got 30ml in there, an SPF of 13, and is $7.99 in the UK. And I actually like this one. I think it's really nice. It's a bit yellow again for me, but this is the only colour I have, which is 30 Sand. Next I have another Maybelline. This is the Dream Matte Mousse, and it is $7.99. The The shade I have is 05, and I'm going to use a sponge with this. So there's 14 shades available in this one. It's a buildable coverage, so you can build it from medium to full. It really goes on the skin beautifully, and I have a dry skin, so for me it looks a bit flat, but if you have an oily skin and you want that kind of matteness to the skin, then I think this is very, very beautiful. However, it only has 18 mils and is still $7.99, so it's the same price as the one before, but has half the quantity basically. Doesn't cover as well either. This one does have an SPF of 18 as well. It's a little bit fair for me, but actually really beautiful. So that one was the Maybelline Dream Matte Mousse. It's $7.99, retails at $7.99 in the UK. It's got 18 mils in there, whereas a lot of the other ones had 30 mils in. I think that you would run out of that very quickly. It's still the same price as the other Maybelline ones that I've used, $7.99 according to the UK retailers. But I do like it. It makes the skin look very, very matte. So if you want a very, very matte finish, then I think this is a great one for you. Also doesn't show the pores very much because it's so matte. Next, I'm going to move on to Revlon Colour Stay. Now, they do two different foundations, one for an oily skin, oily combination, and one for a dry combination, which I think is really, really good. I know a lot of the other brands do that. However, I feel like their packaging is really hard to read. It's really hard to work out. It's taken me so long to research this video because it was so hard to find out what each of them did. It seems like there was a lot of cross communication. I couldn't really work out a lot of them, so I had to spend a really good time researching them, whereas this one was pretty easy because one of them is normal to dry and one of them is combination to oily. You just must check the packaging when you go and buy it, and both of these are available in 12 shades, so the oily one is 12 and this one's 12 as well, so not just 12 between the two. Right, let's try the oily one first. So this is the oily combination. I've put quite a big pump on that one, which is really unnecessary. I won't need that much because I'm only going to do half the face with it. Actually, no, I'll stay doing the whole face because then you can work out how much of the product you actually use. This also has 30 mils, but it's a little bit more expensive than the others at $12.99. I would say that's a medium coverage, but it's really beautiful. It's going on really nice. And it's a really nice colour. That is $2.50 fresh beige. Nice colour for me. I'm not bothering to do the top half. I only really want people to see this bit. My fringe gets in the way for the rest. So yeah, I've still got a good amount left on my hand, and I've done the whole thing, and that was with one pump. But actually it was a big pump, so I imagine that was more equivalent to the two that I've done before. But it definitely went further than the others. Just going to leave that to work into the skin for a minute. Because it is an oily combination, I want to see whether it's going to set a little bit matter, because if not, then it's a great foundation for someone with an oily combination skin and they still want that dewy glow to it, but I think it will probably dry into the skin in a minute. Bear in mind that I have quite bright lights on me as well, so it is making them look slightly more reflective than they necessarily would do. Well, that's been 5 minutes and actually seems to have stayed the same on the skin. It doesn't seem to have gone any flatter. It's not highly shiny, don't get me wrong. It's just more shiny than you would expect from a mattifying foundation. But I suppose it's combination matte. How much comes off when I tap it? Yes, some does move when I tap it. So it's not really adhering to my skin massively. It's setting a bit matter now. I'm tapping it down a bit. So I would probably coat another coat over that if I was worried about getting too much shine. So that was the Revlon Colour Stay Foundation in the combination to oily. It is $12.99. You get 30 mils in there. SPF of 15 in the oily combination one. Comes in 12 shades. I think that's everything. Let's try the dry skin version of that. Okay, give myself a pump of that one. That was a slightly large pea size amount. Not as much as I used with the last one. So this is $12.99 and it's available in 12 shades. I can say it doesn't feel much different to the other one. But I like it. I think this is a really nice foundation. So that's the Revlon Colour Stay for normal to dry skin. It's got an SPF of 20. It's £12.99 retail in the UK and comes in 12 shades. I then have L'Oreal Paris Infallible. This retails at £8.99 in the UK. It's 30 mils and has 5 colour shades. That's not many, but that's all it said on the website that I was looking at. Maybe you can get more because 5 seems pretty crap, to be honest. Okay, let's have a look. And this shade is going to be too light for me. I'm just going to squeeze a good amount. This is aimed at an oilier skin. I'm going to squeeze a good amount on there, about that size. It doesn't have an SPF either from what I can see. It's not written anywhere. But I do find that a lot of these bottles, they make it impossible for you to find out all the information. So this foundation doesn't go as far. It does have your 30 mils in, and it says it's water resistant, waterproof, which is a big statement, and steam proof. I don't know where anyone's going to be having a steam while they have this done. The coverage is good. It's covered my blemish well. It says 24-hour matte, and it is very matte on the skin and buildable. According to the website, it doesn't come in many shades. Now guys, if you disagree or you know something about these that I haven't said, please write them below. If I say one of them, I haven't really said any of them are awful, I'm just more showing you them. But if you've tried them and you hated them, write a comment, say I hated that foundation, say you loved it. Let's help each other out because people might want to go and purchase these and we want to make sure that they are getting the right thing. If you do leave a comment, it'd be really great if you could say your skin type and what your problem is, so that if someone else reads it and they have the same problem, they can actually have the same as you and think, oh, that's the one I need because that's the one that works, and I won't bother trying that one because they've said it doesn't work. Because I only have dry skin. I do work on a lot of oily skin, so I understand oily skin, but it would be so much better if other people could have their opinion as well on here. Now, this waterproof, steam-proof L'Oreal Infallible is very, very matte. It's made my skin look very porcelain and very flat, which I do like. I wouldn't like it over a long period because my skin is so dry, it would start to crepe and cake on me and not look as nice. But I think on an oily skin, it would be very, very beautiful. I did have to use a bit more to get the coverage, and I haven't even done my forehead, so I did have to use a good amount of the product, but it has made my skin look really good. But what I will say is where I've had a cold and I've got a really dry under nose, you can really see it. It makes imperfections stand out more because it's so matte. This is L'Oreal Infallible 24-hour matte, available in 5 shades according to the website. I feel like I might be wrong on that because I don't understand why it would be 5 shades. £8.99 in the UK, more push towards a slightly oilier skin. They say waterproof and they say steam proof. And I actually would say this is very water resistant. I don't know whether it will necessarily be waterproof, but it's gone on, it's really matte, it feels lovely on my skin, it doesn't feel like I'm wearing anything actually, and it's nice. It's a nice foundation. Coming from someone with very, very dry skin, to say that is a big deal. That one is £8.99. Number 7, Beautifully Matte Mousse. This has got 30 grams in, and it is £14, so a little bit more expensive. The colour that I'm using is, I think it's called Wheat. Yeah, Wheat. Well, this goes along a lot longer than the Maybelline one, actually. The Maybelline Mousse. It's very matte and covers better. Remember the Maybelline Mousse didn't really cover my blemish? That's pretty amazing, actually. But it is more expensive. And only available in 3 shades? Surely not. That's what it says on the website. No SPF, only available in 3 shades, £14, 30 grams for an oily combination skin. but it's gone on like a dream. I would never wear anything like this because I feel like my skin looks too matte. But it is dreamy. You know these mousses, they would make me pick my skin if I had imperfections, so I can feel everything. Oh, I would just be like, because I'm a bit of a picker anyway. Covered that well actually. So that was number 7, Beautifully Matte Mousse, £14, available in 3 shades, got no SPF, and you get 30 grams in there, aimed more for an oily combination skin. Max Factor Face Finity All Day Flawless 3-in-1. So you've got your primer, your concealer and your foundation in one, SPF of 20, and this colour is Neutral 50. 2 mini pumps on there. This again is for more of an oily combination skin. Don't worry, dry skins, I am getting to you in a bit. I don't think going on it has masses of coverage, but it is buildable. But I don't think that's more flawless than any of the others that I've used. So I wouldn't call it a primer, concealer and foundation in one. But let me give it time and work it in. So this is available in 9 shades and it retails at £12.99. Hasn't quite covered my blemish. Who knew that that blemish would come in so handy? Just going to wait for a minute and then apply some more and see how it builds. Right, it's been on for a minute or so, so I'm just going to put one tiny more pump on it. I don't want to put too many pumps on because I feel like then it's wasting it. You also get 30 mils in this one as well. So when I build it, I'm having to tap it on because it does move it. But by tapping it, it's going on beautifully. It's absolutely fine. I did wait for 5 minutes for it to dry. Doesn't make my pores look big, which is a good sign. Shall we zoom in? So that was Max Factor Face Finity 3-in-1. It retails at £12.99. It comes in 9 shades. SPF of 20. The colour that I used was Neutral 50. It primes, conceals and foundation all in one, although it did take me 2 layers. It goes on beautifully. And makes my skin look very, very flat and matte and nice. But only available in 9 shades, which I don't think is enough for the coverage that it has. £12.99. Did I say £9.99? £12.99, 9 shades. Next, Rimmel Wake Me Up Foundation. This says it's only available in 6 shades, which doesn't seem very many. Retails at £8.99. SPF of 20. 30 mils in the pot. It's got a very strong scent to it, the Rimmel ones. Kind of floral, so if you can't deal with scents then it might be a bit much for you. This is anti-fatigue with vitamin C, SPF of 20, and the colour that I'm using is 103 True Ivory. This one doesn't specify what skin type it is for. However, I think it's dry combination by the way it's going on. It doesn't have a matte finish to it straight away. It's quite glowing. It's actually really nice. Medium coverage I would say for this one, but it is buildable. But obviously the more you build these sorts of foundations, the ones that have less shades in, they're obviously going to become more pigmented, so it makes it even more difficult for the colour match. That feels lovely on the skin. So that was Rimmel Wake Me Up Foundation, Anti-Fatigue, Skin Brightening, Vitamin C, SPF of 20. The colour that I've got on is True Ivory, which is 103, 6 shades, 30 mils, £8.99 UK price. Very nice, but very strong scented. Next we have a Rimmel Lasting Finish Breathable. I should bloody hope so, otherwise I wouldn't be putting it on my skin and my skin couldn't breathe. Medium coverage foundation. This is 200 Soft Beige. Oh, it's got a little pump. This is available in 14 shades. Might just paint my face with that. I don't like this. I don't see what the point in that is. Because you're not going to use that to colour your whole makeup, are you? Or are you meant to? Doesn't, it gives you too much product. £8.99 this one. It's the same price as the last one. actually it soaks up a lot, that tool that's there. So I suppose you're not wasting extra because you put the right amount on. So actually that might be really, really clever. Clever. Just going to use a brush just to buff it in a bit. Do you know what I mean? Because you're not squirting it. A lot of these I've been wiping off what's left and it just gets wasted. Whereas with that one, because it's on that, I didn't waste any. I've blended it all through. So my first thought was, this is stupid. Actually, saving product. But I suppose that doesn't take up more room than if the pump was in there, does it? 30 mils. Anyone who's got this one, tell me, does it last longer because of that? I like these Rimmel ones. This is for all skin types as well. They haven't specified, although I would say it's slightly matter than the Wake Me Up. So would be better for kind of a normal to oily or normal to dry. It kind of sits in the middle there. So that was Rimmel Lasting Finish Foundation, $8.99. Breathable foundation, 14 shades, SPF of 20, 30 mils, medium coverage, but buildable. I just don't know how people choose one when they go into a store. The lighting's terrible. They're always half opened or the seal's been broken. It's really difficult. They have to kind of rethink that because you can't really test them properly in the store. So hopefully this video will help you a little bit. Right, I then have Bourjois Healthy Mix Foundation and Bourjois Healthy Mix Foundation Gel. Now, I don't know the difference between these two. One has vitamin C, E, B5 in it, 16 hours. And this one is a gel, 16 hours. But they pretty much say the same thing. It's just, I think, a different type of how the foundation goes on. So I'm going to start with the foundation, not the gel. The colour that I have got is 53, I think it was. Let's pop that on. Quite scented again. Now I know I like this foundation because I've used it before. It's one of my go-to drugstore foundations, but actually trying all those other ones, there's a lot of good ones nowadays. It's come on a long way. So this is, they don't specify what skin type this is for, but I suppose it's more aimed at a slightly dry combination skin. But if you have an oily skin, just put a mattifying primer underneath it and allow the glow to come through from the foundation. So that's available in 9 shades and it retails at $9.99. I've got a lot left on my hand, which is why that Rimmel thing's such a good idea, which I didn't think it was at all when I first pulled it out. Let's try the gel foundation. So the gel one comes in 6 shades. It's more money, it's $10.99 rather than $9.99 the other one is. You still get the same amount even though the bottle is different. There's still 30 mils in there. It has no SPF as well. Same as the other one. Or not that it's stated anywhere. It's got exactly the same smell as the other one. So it's quite perfumed. Right, I can tell you the difference between them by putting it on. The gel one has a much glossier, glowier finish. So it's aimed more to have that kind of glowy shine. It works into the skin nicely and almost sits like it's part of the skin. It's really nice actually. According to the website, only available in 6 shades, which I don't think is really enough, but maybe they will do more. So that is the Bourjois Healthy Mix Serum. No SPF, it's $10.99. It goes on the skin really nicely. It's actually the one that makes my skin look the most naturally glowing. You can still see parts of my skin coming through, but it's evened it out, if that makes sense. I still have quite a good amount left on my hand, so it goes a long way. And that's about it for that one. Available in 6 shades, you still get your 30 mils in that one. Lastly, I have a NYX foundation. This one is Total Control. This is far of a lighter consistency. You can see it's starting to run on my hand. Oh, you can see it's dripping. Quickly, find a brush. So this is available in 24 shades and it's buildable. The shade that I have got is neutral. And it doesn't specify what skin type this is for. So hopefully I can tell you. It's £14 and from what I can see it doesn't have an SPF. I think because this is so lightweight, that's why it's good for most skin types. But I would say if you've got an oily skin and you want a really, really light coverage, this might be right up your street. But correct me if I'm wrong, do leave your comments if you've tried it and you've got an oily skin and it's slipped off you. But for something so lightweight, it actually gives a very good coverage and it's quite matte. It's very, very quick to work with, which I like. So that was NYX Total Control, £14 in the UK, available in 24 shades. It's a very, very lightweight foundation, but still covers very nicely. Makes the skin look like skin, but a slightly matter, more flawless version of your skin. Doesn't cover imperfections. You wouldn't expect a foundation to necessarily. You would use a concealer with it. But it's a nice foundation. One of the more expensive ones in that whole foundation group that I showed you though. So there you have my finished drugstore foundation review. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm sorry it was such a long video, but I really wanted to get all the information across to you. And like I said, if you have any opinions on any of the foundations I spoke about, or if there's any others that you totally love, then please write your comments below and share them with everyone so we can all be part of it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. It's Pixie Woo, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye.